Welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'll be bringing you a prediction reading for the 10th of October. Now if you are new here, I pretty much let my guides channel through to you, so don't forget to subscribe. I'm here with my doggo Sprocket. He's worn out. I've been mowing again today. It's gorgeous spring day here down under. Nice change from the snow and rain that we just had for 2 days. I hope it's nice and still warm where you guys are, so I hope you're enjoying your autumn if you're overseas. And I will close my eyes and we'll just get started and see what comes up. Oh. I'm getting that people are getting very combative now. People are getting combative about everything. I do believe that people are moving through their rage. And I'm almost getting visions of road rage and getting people getting angry at government, people getting angry at everybody. There's this combative, argumentative energy that's coming out in a lot of people, and they're wanting to like argue and fight. Not you, if you're watching my channel. We've moved through a lot of that and we've detached ourselves from this kind of energy. We don't go down that road anymore. We're not trying to fight. We're not trying to argue and combat with people. We're not doing that anymore. We've moved right away. We did do a lot of that in the beginning of the pandemic, but we've found a way clear of that to protect ourselves and strengthen ourselves over here in a place that we've called on this channel, if you're new, Terra Bella, which means our beautiful earth. So we've kind of escaped all of this, but I am still getting that turbulent, combative energy of these people rising up and people waking up. Because you've got to remember the confusion. They don't know what's going on. They can't piece it together. It's not making logical sense to them. Now, if anyone watched the video of my sister and I when we talked about to jab or not to jab, we had very, very different viewpoints. And even my sister admitted that she can't piece all this together. She does not put it under one umbrella. Like we, on this channel, most of us put it under the reset umbrella, but they don't see it that way. They see everything as separate. Not all of them, but probably a lot of them do. So that's what we've got, this combative kind of turbulent energy still, and the anger still rising in a lot of these people. So it's just important to be aware of that if you're having any interactions. Oh, and the global walkout, I think it's number 6 we're up to, aren't we? The global walkout for today, which is Monday, is you have to get together with people and have like a dinner or a barbecue. Try to reconnect with people again, because as we all know here on this channel, they are trying to keep us very divided from family and friends and people in general, because they can gain control of us when we're all combating and fighting each other and arguing. So what they're saying is just see if you can sort of get back together with, I know it's going to be hard to get back with people, even myself, I went, no, that's not going to happen with my friends, but maybe get together with relatives, or maybe you've made new friends through all of this. Look at all of us here. Maybe we could all have like a virtual barbecue and all come together on my channel. That would be fun, wouldn't it? We could all just have a live stream barbecue down under. So this is what they're saying. That's part of the global walkout. That's the next step of the global walkout. I'll post it to my Facebook, Chrissy Fitzgerald, Psychic Life Coach, if anyone wants to go and check that out. I think it's actually one of the, what do you call it, parliamentary people from, is it Netherlands? I think it is. Oh, he's from somewhere like that. So anyway, go check that out. So that's what they're wanting us to do, is to reconnect, because that's exactly the opposite of what these government leaders want us to do. They want us to stay disconnected from people. And they've done a good job at it, we've got to admit. But also be very aware of the anger and the turbulence and the combative energy. Just saying, oh God, it's just scary to even think about reconnecting with some of these people, even, and it's hard with family, isn't it? Because you can really get into some heated arguments. Even though my sister and I did that video, we even had our heated arguments while she was here. I'm not denying that, we do, but we're very fortunate that we accept each other's differences and different choices, and we do move on pretty quickly. But not everybody can do that. So that's what I'm getting. We're getting that, try and reconnect with people. Let's see where else we go today. Oh God, I'm getting, people are getting fired from their jobs. There's a lot of people currently getting fired from their jobs. Again, it's that middle bracket. I keep talking about this middle bracket of people that own bigger companies, like bigger businesses, not all the small businesses. These are the people in that middle range and aren't quite up with the corporate and the elites, but they're all starting to feel the pressure now, because you think about it, I keep talking about it, the freight, the cost of fuel, oh gosh, wages are rising, everything crazy. So they're not going to be able to afford to keep people on. We know that's going to be the case. So I'm getting that a lot more people are getting fired. And this is why I keep saying this hopelessness is growing in people. They're trying to find a way out. They're feeling very hopeless and lost in all of this. Like I said, because they don't see all of this. They don't see what's really happening. They're wondering why this is happening. And they're feeling lost. They're feeling dejected. Can you imagine that happening after you got through the pandemic? Maybe didn't get work, lost your job, got a job back, and now you're being sort of virtually, if you think about it, you're in the same situation. It's very strange, isn't it? But this is what I'm getting. There's a lot of people being put off, and we know there is in a lot of the shops and things. Gosh, you only need to go into some of these. Gosh, where was I the other day? I went to Big W or Kmart or somewhere, and there was no one working on the checkouts at all. It was all self-serve, and of course, you know what the self-serve's like. So frustrating. My husband and I can't stand using them, especially coming from the country, because you're used to having an interaction with people in a conversation. It was in the city, it was in Canberra, and no one. And then there was just one person trying to help everybody, because all the self-serve things kept saying, take your bag off, take your bag off, take your bag off. And you know how it repeats, so I can't stand them. I'm sure you guys have had self-serve experiences as well. What's the world coming to, honestly? And so that's what I'm getting. People are losing jobs all over the place. But see, of course, it's not going to be shown on mainstream media, is it? But it's happening. Like I said, another bank was closing here in my town. That's about the 4th bank. Now, that's a lot of jobs. I know at least 5 people that work there. So that's another heap of jobs gone. I'm sure they're not, you know, getting another job. They live in this town. So what are they going to do? They're going to have to look for something else. So this is what I'm getting in these middle sectors now. The job losses is starting to really increase. It's becoming really obvious now. There's a lot. And can you imagine that? If you've got a giant mortgage, maybe your kids are at boarding school, you've got repayments to make there, and then suddenly you've lost your job, as we know, which happened during the CV pandemic. This happened to so many people. Well, it's still continuing. It hasn't all gone away, and the economy's great and we're all moving forward. We know that. So that's what I'm getting, that middle part of society. Those businesses are now starting to crumble. It's so sad, isn't it? It's really sad. I mean, the kind of businesses. We knew that, I kept saying a lot of building industries and these kind of industries were going to struggle, and that's what's actually happening now. And it's also about being able to get stock and things too. So they're having to like downsize things as well. Hang on a sec. So they're having to downsize as well, because of course they can't get the stock, they can't meet the demand. I mean, look at the car industry. You know, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? They can't even get cars. I was really lucky. I got my new car the other week, and I didn't have to wait very long, because it was a 2023 model, and they get a batch sent to Australia as like their trial batch, like to let people have a look at them and to test drive them and that. So I was really lucky I got one. And it was funny, because this morning I pulled up downtown, and this woman I know in one of the shops came out and said, oh, I love your new car, it's obviously electric. And I went, no, it's not electric, I'm not getting an electric car. I just looked at her and I said, they're just too expensive, and how are we going to maintain it in a country town? And you could just see she was overwhelmed. Like, she really thought I would have bought an electric car. Like, she said, oh, how can you not? We have to get electric cars now. She was like so adamant. And this is the brainwashing again. She was adamant that every time we buy a car now, we've all got to get electric cars. We've got to save the environment. And you just go, oh my God, are you listening to yourself? Like, you can't believe that these people are even brainwashed. They're not in the mass psychosis though. But see, it's the trickery and the wording, you know. And she was like, it was like she was making me feel guilty because I bought an unleaded vehicle. I didn't even buy diesel, because I know they're trying to phase a lot of those out, aren't they, in Europe and different countries. But I'm trying not to give in to the government, as you guys probably are too. But these people just think, oh, you should have got an electric car. Oh yeah, who can afford an electric car? There's still like 100,000 here in Australia. So just saying. And then you've got to maintain it. Exactly. I told you about my sister having the Tesla, and every time they needed a part, it was like $10,000 for this. And she said everything was so expensive. And see, people forget about the cost of the batteries in them. People forget about the ongoing costs. It's all well and good to buy that, but if you've got to pay for your servicing and your parts, until they bring those down, that's just not a realistic avenue for people to take, especially in the country, as a lot of us know. There's like 2 charging bays here. Like it's just not going to happen. Anyway, I thought it was just weird that she sort of made me feel bad because I hadn't bought an electric car, like I wasn't helping the environment. So we have to be very, and she's someone I know really well, so we have to be kind of still a bit careful of these people, because some of these people are just not seeing any of this from the perspective that we do. It's very, very strange, isn't it? I just find it so weird that they just fall for all this garbage. Whatever the government feeds them on mainstream media, they absolutely believe it 100%. It's so strange. It's like when you listen to my sister on my video, she 100% believes the health professionals on the media. She doesn't look at any other health professionals. She doesn't even open her eyes to anybody else's opinion. And this is what they're like. It's scary. Let me know down below what you guys are going with all of this. But it's absolutely crazy. This whole renewable energy nonsense, economy nonsense, is just getting blown like right out of proportion now. Sorry, had to have a rant a bit today. Must have been my turn today again. Let's see where else we go today. Oh, this is interesting. I'm getting that this crisis, this global crisis, is creating a lot of functioning alcoholics. Oh my God, this is so bad, isn't it? It's saying there's a lot of closet drinkers out there that are trying to escape all their worries and their fears, their anxieties. They're trying to calm their nerves. There's a lot of people reaching for the bottle. And that's a sad thing, isn't it? Because that's just a mechanism to cope. I suppose it's like anything like smoking or any sort of habit. Chocolate, maybe. We all have different habits. But I am getting that there's going to be a lot more of this turning to escapism is probably, I mean, some people are addicted to Netflix. We all have different things. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a drink. God, I think lots of people do. But they're saying there's a lot of people out there who are like functioning alcoholics who can function really well in society. And the more their stress level goes up, the more they do these ones. So a lot of people are kind of turning to the drink in order to cope. Because like I said, people can't put it together. So they're better to, in their mind, escape it than try and work it all out. I mean, you got to admit, we all know it's an absolute, God, it's like so complicated. It's like a series of like heaps of underground tunnels that's all mysterious and no one knows which direction to go to find their way out. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? Even to us sometimes it's like that. So I am getting that a lot of people are turning to the drink. So as we know, obviously the corporate bottle shops and things are going to do, and liquor barns and all that are going to do well out of all of this, because people are going to escape into these things to help them to sleep, to help them to cope. God, I suppose you could say the cigarettes will probably go up through the roof as well. It seems to be all these big corporate companies that are gaining traction, isn't it, sadly? But I am getting that. A lot of people are turning to the drink. It's just escapism. We know it is. Hang on a sec. I'll see if there's something else today. God, they're showing me like these elites and they're like island hopping. So they're going from one island to the next, to the next, to the next. And it's almost to me like they're starting their takeover plan. Oh no. They're starting to dominate a lot of the small islands and make them their reality. We've talked on here before about Fantasy Island, that show. We know about Epstein Island, but we've talked here a lot about that show, Fantasy Island, where people's fantasies come true and the little guy goes, zip-plane, zip-plane, and they're in the white suits. Well, that's the kind of image that I'm getting now. I feel like these elite They're saying masters, but I don't really think they're masters. I think they're tyrants, actually. But they're saying they're starting to build these islands now, islands of wealth. They're calling them islands of wealth. And they're like resorts, and they're really taking over. They're saying they're taking over a lot of this. And I would think this would be the buy-ups. They're starting to buy up and purchase a lot of these things. See, what's going to happen, and we know it here on my channel, they're going to make these things unaffordable for the peasants. The peasants aren't going, and the little people, which is all of us, we're not going to be able to go to these places. They're even showing me places like here on the Barrier Reef. They've always been pretty expensive anyway, but you could always have a pretty good holiday like Daydream Island and these kind of Great Keppel and that. But now they're turning them into a more elite paradise. So I am feeling there's a lot of changes starting to go on because they're being bought up by big corporate companies. And yeah, and that's what they're trying to create, their fantasy island. And it is a big fantasy, although they've got the money to do it. So, you know, how do you fight back against something like that when they're just buying everything up? It's just squashing everybody, isn't it? Oh my God. But they don't want us going on holidays. See, that's what I kept saying to you. They just want us working from 13 till the day we die and not have holidays, because they just want us bringing in and making all the money and doing all the hard work for them. So they're starting to build their real empires now, their island empires. Let me see if there's something else to close with today. And that would be your like BlackRocks, Vanguards, all these companies. They're even saying like the BHPs, the big, what do you call them, the renewable companies, all these kind of things. They're buying up a lot. And it's saying that the little people would be mortified if they knew what was actually going on and how much these big corporate mobs are coming into their kind of territory and buying things up. Anyway, let's see if there's something else to close with today. God, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting people are really fumbling now. It's showing me like people like fumbling with their fingers, like they're dropping, you know, when you're getting money out of your purse or something, you start dropping your coins or something. It's that awkward kind of fumbling. And you're trying to count your notes, and they're showing me this is the people waking up, and this is the people who are getting really hit with reality now. They're fumbling, and they're stumbling, and they're fumbling, and everything's starting to collapse. This is for the little people, sadly. Not for us. This is not for you guys if you're watching my channel. This is for the people waking up, the ones that are about to be taken down, because we know that they are. They're going to get hit really hard between now and Christmas, and they're fumbling. They're fumbling to make ends meet. I said before they were skimping and scraping and like checking out the kids' piggy banks and down to every last dollar and scraping the barrel. Well, now things have just got so tight now that the money's just like falling through their hands. They can't hang on to it anymore, sadly. And this is when we're going to start to see the house foreclosures. People getting depression more. There's going to be a lot more of that sort of thing. Hopefully people standing up if they can manage to keep their strength and their power up, which isn't easy if people are starting to feel depressed about their future and where their life's headed. You know, we don't want them going into that state either. We want to keep them strong and empowered. But I am getting that's starting to slip through their fingers now. I think I talked about the other week where it's like the slime slipping through their fingers, the money slipping through people's fingers now. The little people, of course, not the wealthy elites. So let me see if there's something to close with today. Hang on. So sad. It's so sad. I'm getting that song of the Beatles, like, please, please help me. This is really sad what they're doing to people. And I'm getting, that's the song, I'm getting that Beatles song, please, please help me. It's just sad. The other day I got that song Mind Games where they're just playing with people's minds, and we know they are. Now I'm getting that please, please help me by the Beatles. Honestly, people are just overwhelmed now. It's just so sad. Not only have they jabbed people to the point that they're all getting ill and they've got everything's on the rise, shingles, polio, measles, the whole lot. Yes, everything. And they all got CV as well, which they were jabbed for, which I don't understand how that worked. But I am getting that just people are tired. They're just tired, exhausted, and they've had enough. And that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that, please help me. They don't understand why the government isn't helping them and cutting them a break. See, the government, if you think about it, the government's doing the opposite of what they said. Let's all jab everybody. Let's keep everybody healthy and whole and stop everyone getting sick. But then we're going to take you down and we're going to destroy your financial businesses. We're just going to take your life down to nothingness, and we're going to squash you and keep treading on you till you're right down here and there's nothing left of you. So that is what these people waking up are currently feeling, that they're on the seesaw. We often talk about the seesaw, and government's over here and rising themselves up, and these people are over here and hitting rock bottom and about to slide off the seesaw. And that's the image I'm going to leave you with today. These people waking up are sliding off the seesaw. Not us. We're not sliding off the seesaw. We're watching this from a very safe vantage point, which I always tell you to do, and watch people who are combative. Don't go there. Just walk away or remove yourself from the situation, because you have to stay strong and you have to stay in your power and you have to stay protected. So I'm going to say goodbye from Australia. Take care. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Bye.